The Ghost Hunter was made in 2014 by LongJoin and was distributed by LongWinn as part of the LongTenth range. It is a revolver-shaped wireless computer mouse, which is equipped with rumble-based force feedback. It was also referred to as Death Hunter, and the shell itself is labeled with mouse gun and gun-LJ. Its model number is LM60, which is also used as name sometimes. LongJoin is still operational today and manufactures and develops audio equipment for big names such as Universal Audio, TEAC, Marshall, Oasis, and M-Audio. There are two kinds of gun mice, full gun mice and handle-only mice, which are stealthier. I have covered examples for both types in my show before. If one was to draw a spectrum of mice between the two extreme poles of a vertical ergonomic mouse and a one-to-one pistol replica, the Ghost Hunter would be situated very far at the replica side, even more so than the Monster Gecko Pistol Mouse FPS, which I have covered in episode 172. Visually, the Ghost Hunter looks like a modern take on classical Smith & Wesson snub-nosed revolver designs. The handle has a sufficient size to host even large hands, and the overall weight of the mouse is well balanced. The clicky microswitch-based trigger is mapped to the left mouse click. All three buttons rely on push-button switches. The right mouse click is mapped to a button on the left-hand side of the grip. When holding the gun, this button lays under the middle finger, which makes it very convenient to press. The top button, which is closer to the mouse wheel, is mapped to the middle click. The wheel itself can't be pressed in and just turns. In a normal shooting stance, the thumb rests over it. Rubber cushions give it lots of grip, and I had no issues at all using it. Among my collection of gun mice, I found this mouse wheel to work the best by far. The button right below the hammer lets the player toggle between various sensor resolutions. 600, 1200 and 2000 dots per inch are the available choices. An LED array at the base displays the current sensitivity setting and whether the gun receives power. The gun takes two AAA cells, but it can also be driven via the supplied USB micro B cable. This USB connection is no substitute for the requisite pairing to its 2.4G dongle, which can be stored in a cavity behind the slip-over snub nose. An on-off switch is located at the underside of the mouse. The hammer interacts with the latching switch, which controls the rumble-based force feedback. For what it is, it reacts quite fast and rather strong. There is notably heftier feedback when powering the mouse via USB rather than battery, and therefore I am recommending the former to enthusiasts. From a distance, it may seem like a terrible idea to have force feedback on a mouse, as this will impair the ability of navigation and aiming. In the particular case of the Ghost Hunter, however, which has its rumble motor far away from the sensor, the impact is not as severe as one would think. Don't get me wrong, I don't recommend this kind of force feedback on ranked competitive play sessions. But when playing against computer opponents or weaker players, this is a fun handicap, which enhances the immersion a lot. Using the Ghost Hunter with force feedback, I almost get Norwind Falcon vibes, but from a much more commonplace setup and in a way smaller form factor. The angular orientation of the Ghost Hunter can be adjusted. It can be skewed freely between 45 and 90 degrees. Stop latches, in which the gun locks and rests more stable, are at those two limits and another one at 67.5 degrees. Even when locked in the latches, some residual angular play remains. At the back of the mouse is a bolt, which has to be pulled out in order to facilitate angular movement and especially to allow leaving a stop latch. The adjustability might be to cater for the non-gaming ergo mouse use case, as many modern vertical mice seem to be slanted. I have tested the Ghost Hunter extensively in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I have no complaints whatsoever and it didn't affect my performance significantly. The mouse tracks accurately on all tested surfaces. I enjoyed the button placement a lot and it felt very natural to me. To my surprise, I ended up preferring the Ghost Hunter even over my beloved Pistol Mouse FPS, as for the microswitch based trigger and its better gliding feet. I can recommend this mouse and I am very glad to own it. The box looks outstanding. The silver font which says Ghost Hunter is iridescent and pops out tastefully together with other accents, which are made of glossy printing on an otherwise matte surface. The subtle green glow reminds me of early Razer product packaging. A flap opens up to reveal the actual mouse behind the plastic cover. The back describes the key features of the Ghost Hunter in great detail. This is the end of the review. My name is Ben. I thank you for viewing.